G'day and welcome to the Xenophon Gaming channel. Today starting a new Let's Play with the new release of Astrometica. I have played a lot of the game prior to this release, but this release has added a whole bunch of functionality. So I'm keen to play it and see what's new. So we have escaped our burning ship and are now stranded in an asteroid belt, trying to survive. Right. So in the starter pod, you have two storage crates, which have some water, some food, and some oxygen tanks, and some med kits, which I won't need just at the moment. And then the basic fabricator, where you can make materials, crafting materials from the raw resources that you gather, and consumables, so more water, space burgers, oxygen tanks, med kits, and then equipment. So we're going to have to build an oxygen capsule, which is there, a jetpack, which is there, backpack, which requires silver, which takes a little bit of doing, and then the mining tool. Also, there has the scanner tool and the scrapper, which you use for hitting things. Later on, we'll get components as well. There is a log console that explains the story. So the spaceship exploded, we evacuated, we've traveled through space for a long time, we've lost count of how long we've been going, and then we finally hit an asteroid, and now I've stopped. Over here on the terminal, it will show us any signals that we detect in the asteroid belt. So when we open the airlock door, we can see all of the materials out here. So I'm going to go and gather a bunch of stuff. So you just float around and collect things. We have very little oxygen to start with, and we received a new signal in our log, in our terminal. So this is an asteroid that we need a miner to mine. I'm going to go and get some oxygen. So you have to be careful later on, especially when you get the jetpack. If you hit objects at speed, you will kill them. I mean, you will do damage to yourself. So I've collected a bunch of iron. This, use organic material. Need to go and grab some copper. We can make things. So the copper colored stuff is copper, surprisingly enough. I do find that I lose track of the 3D, in the 3D space of things, because you maintain your momentum and you fly past things. Right, now I need to get some oxygen. See what I can make. So the priority is the oxygen tank, which I can't do yet because I haven't got any quartz. The jetpack, I need carbon and a copper wire. So I need quartz. Okay, if you are crafting, if you use the left shift and the mouse wheel, you can create two of however many you want, up to the limits of your material. And it takes the same time as creating one. So I have made 2 copper wire, and now I just need a piece of quartz. So the quartz is on the right hand side here. It's just a matter of finding it. Oh, there's one. However, seeing as I'm out here, I'll gather some more things. There is the carbon, slightly darker than the iron that we've already gathered. And now I'll head back to pod. If you have not played the game previously, there is an achievement for coming back to the pod 50 times. You can see the oxygen warning on my screen now. But we made it back in time. Oh yeah, we had a signal. So it's telling me that there is Moxora station has been detected, and I'll show you where that is. It will show you the signal on the map and in your HUD when you look outside. So there it is there, 500 meters away. So as soon as we can make the jetpack, we will go there. Well, not quite as soon, but soon after we make the jetpack. So now I need to make the mining tool. So for that, I need a battery, which is a carbon and a copper wire, and an electronic part for which I am missing copper. So having made those things, now I'm going to equip them. So just left click on them and it will equip them. Where did I put it? Oxygen, jetpack, okay. Battery I have now. So now I have the jetpack. I needed the mining tool. I'm going to pin it using the right mouse button so I know what I need. So I just need electronic parts, which is 2 iron and 1 copper. Now that I have the jetpack, you can see I can accelerate using the jetpack, and then it slowly recharges. Well, there is a recycle time, and then it recharges relatively rapidly. And I have more oxygen now, so I can stay out longer gathering things. Still not very long. But basically, once you have the jetpack and the first oxygen tank, you can make it to Moxora Island. But before you go there, you really want to make sure you've finished these first steps. So I needed an electronic part, which is a copper wire and an iron. Now I can make the mining tool and equip it in the one slot. So there it is. It has 100% charge currently, and it will use that battery that was part of the recipe. And to change it, use the X key, and if you have multiple batteries, you can then change the battery. So first off, I'm going to go and get the silver. Oh, see, there you go. I ran into an asteroid, just like I was saying, and did myself a bunch of damage, which was foolish. So now this is a silver asteroid, conveniently placed in the starter area because you need it. All of the material that I've been gathering manually will in fact respawn, at least the minerals. Mining will become faster as you get tool upgrades, and there are other ways other than manual to mine stuff. First of all, I'm just going to get increased backpack size to allow us to go and gather stuff. Right, so mining silver gave us some additional unlocks. Now I'm just going to go and get my oxygen, build the backpack, and then we can go from there. So I need an electronic part again. My backpack. Equip that. You watch my slots go up. I think I get another 7, yes, which makes things a lot easier. Sort button helps you to combine things and to just reorder them. I have 1 silver left. So I need the scanner tool, for which I need lots of things. Lots more iron, a data transformer, some more quartz. So I'm going to go out and get it. Put the mining tool away so I don't use the battery up. I could use the mining tool to gather the iron, but it's all floating around here. So it kind of is more efficient in the long run. There's the quartz. Just at the beginning of the game, just to gather it, because it's just floating here. It's like 5 pieces of quartz here. We will need quartz in the next step as well. Get all of that. Keeping an eye on your oxygen. There are things to get out of this pot as well, but we'll do that in a minute. Gather some ice. We can make some more water. As you can see, our oxygen and food, our water and our thirst and hunger is going down as we exert ourselves in the asteroid belt. Right, so what do I need now? I need a battery and a data transformer. So a battery and the data transformer requires an electronic part, of course. And now I'm out of iron still. And copper. Iron and copper. I need 3 of each. So let's see what's here. May have to mine that copper asteroid. Oh no, there's one. Grab that quartz. Keeping an eye on my oxygen timer. There's more over here. Right. Still actually have plenty of time. It's actually really cool looking. The developer has done a very good job of making it engaging. Right, so now I can make my scanner tool. Equip it. Now for me, I just like to put it in the 6 slot because you don't use it that often. Sort my materials. I'm going to actually dump stuff that I don't currently need. Using the shift key will get rid of all of the stacks that you might have of a single type of resource. And now we're going to head to Moxora Island, which is over there. So I'm using my jetpack to boost, and now you can see I've run out. So it's a shift to use the jetpack. And now it is recharging rapidly once it reached the recycle point. And I can use it again. So these bubbles are oxygen generally. In fact, always. You can see there's more over there, which which we'll need to visit shortly. And most of the time, the bubbles have gravity as well. So here's an abandoned habitat. So down on the bottom right of the screen, you can see that the scanner icon has come up, which means there is something to scan. In this case, it's probably the habitat. Circle room, 1 of 3. So that means that we need 3 to scan 3 of them to be able to build it. Whereas this upgrade station just required the 1, and we have done it. So here is the wall storage fragment, 1 of 3, 2 of 3. You can see the charge going down on the scanning tool. Oh, and I didn't make the scrapper. That was foolish. Now there is my habitat builder. So that's the build tool. Work desk, and you see that unlocked the habitat corridor, the airlock, and gave me a task to do. Here's a log. They've gone off to investigate a spaceship wreckage and did not return. Right, so that was one room. Need the scrapper tool to break down the box. In here, there is something else to scan. The icon has come up, and it will be, in fact, the habitat room, 2 of 3. There is a box of fabric that we'll get later. Another log talking about how long they've been stuck here. And then a chest, which has a bunch of materials in it, which we will take. So I'm going to have to make another trip because I forgot the scrapper. And I've played this game a lot, and, you know, sometimes you just lose track of things. So there is a gatherable resource here, and also we can scan the light. So there's some fungu, which is used in various crafting recipes later, and it does regenerate. I'll just run around the back. There is, in fact, a locked chest for which you will need a code, which we will find out later, no doubt. Right, so then if we go back to where we landed, we can see just there in the center of the screen the beacon, the light from our original station. So now we're going to go back so that we can build our builder tool, because we need the fabricator to do that. Oh, and there was a new log, which we will look at when we get back. I probably will need some copper. But I will gather that once I've got more oxygen. Although, quartz. Oh, no, I'm not. Missed by that much. You can see the scanner tool identifies things if you use the left mouse, and right mouse will actually scan things. Just know I need a bunch of resources, so. Alrighty. So I best build the scrapper and equip it. So you've got 6 equipable slots. And for the build tool, I need a battery and a data transformer. So I need another carbon. Okay, so that's the data transformer. Now I need a carbon in order to build the build tool. So carbon is slightly blacker than the iron. There is some forward and down. Let's gather all these materials. Right, head back to the pod. So we don't run out of oxygen. Build a battery. Build tool. Done. Right, so if we equip that, and then right click shows you all of the things that you can build. So we have a quest that will is asking us to build a habitat airlock, for which we need fabric. We've not gathered any yet. A corridor and habitat room. Then we will want to build a new fabricator in our new base. And we'll also want to build some storage and eventually some power, because machines require power. So we also have a desk and a light. And tool modification and upgrade. So upgrade station is where we'll get more advanced versions of backpack and stuff like that. So down at the bottom left, you can see my first is getting out of control. So I'll just drink a water and then I will build a new one. So you can see here, one of the changes they made in the new release is that the fabricator will use stuff that's in storage that's close by. So I have 2 ice on me at the moment, and a water takes 2 ice. However, I gathered some previously, so I can actually make 3 waters based on the stuff that's in the storage. You can see I've now got 1 left. So if I get rid of all this and hit sort to combine, actually I'll get rid of that 1 liter water. I've got a coffee cup, so lucky. Right, let us go and get some fabric, which is over in that pod. So we'll go down here, trying not to do ourselves any more damage. And we may mine out that silver again, because it has now respawned. So you just hit the package with the scrapper. That'll allow you to break things and gather the fabric. So this is a mineral package. More fabric. Minerals. More somewhere. Oh, a piece of gold. Let's not lose that. All right. So now you can see our quest, which is build a habitat room, build a habitat corridor, build a habitat airlock. So we're going to do that, but we're going to do that on the other side. So I know that I'm going to need 20 iron bars, 4 copper bars, 1 copper wire, 4 electronics, fabric, 2 silver, and a glass in order to do to build a basic base. So I'm going to build a glass now. Then I'm going to build a spare battery for the mining laser. And then I'm going to go and mine some stuff. I will need to go and get that silver because I need it for the builds that I need to do. So just in front of me to the left is a very large asteroid with the red lava glowy bits. That's in fact an enormous iron asteroid that you can use a machine called a deposit miner to mine later. That will give you massive amounts of basic resources in an automated fashion. So it fills up, you have to go and empty it manually, but it gives you a lot of the basic resources. So now I'm going to get my silver. Then I'm going to mine a bunch of iron. I can do one before I need to go and get more oxygen. So you can see that doing the iron uses much less power and is also much quicker than the silver. So that was actually pretty good timing. What I'm going to do is move the med kit out of there to over here, and then I'm going to take all of the resources out of here that I'm going to use to build stuff and start stacking it up in the other chest. So I need 20 iron bars and 4 copper bars. I need a copper wire, just the one. I'm going to need 4 electronic parts, however. So I'm going to put this stuff down now. 1 fabric I will need. 1 copper wire. I'm going to need 2 silver. 1 glass. And then everything else I will continue to build. So let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Right. Let's go back out and mine more stuff. I'm going to have to change my battery in a second. Right, you can see it stopped. So now swap the battery. Eventually, not too long from now, we'll be able to build a battery charger. So we can recharge our batteries. So you can see copper takes a little bit longer, but not as long as the silver. And gives us 3 copper, which is 1 copper bar. Down there, that green translucent thing is in fact a node of quartz. So you can in fact mine it as well. Right, so I need 4 copper bars and I have 2, and I need 20 iron bars and I have 5. So I'm going to build 2 more copper bars, and I'm just going to build many iron bars. I have 3 copper left, and I need 4 electronics, so okay, I need more iron. Put my dead battery in the box for the moment. Go and gather a bunch of iron. So I will probably have to build another battery now, just to get all of the materials that I need. Yes, so I mean, I love space games, and this is a very good looking space game. The developer has made a huge number of improvements to the game in this new release. Very impressive. I'm looking forward to playing it all out this time again. I have completed the game in the previous version, but the save games were not compatible, so I couldn't do a base tour or anything by the time I was able to do it, because I have been overseas for 4 weeks. Right, so that's that. So what did I say? I needed 4 electronic parts, so that's 4 copper wire. Yeah, I can make it now. Right. So shift click, put them in. I've got my 1 copper wire, my 1 fabric, I've got my 2 silver, I've got my 1 glass, and a data transformer. The data transformer is the electronic part and a quartz. So now I should have everything that I need here. Oh no, iron bars, many iron bars still. So I am going to need another battery, a copper wire, and a carbon. It's 10 iron bars. So yeah, basically it's about 5% of a battery to mine an iron asteroid, a meteor, and you get 3 iron out of each. So basically you get 1 iron bar out of each. So I need to do 10 of them. 3. I was trying to find them. You've got battery. There is, in fact, bigger carbon asteroids like this one, meteors, whatever, and asteroids. And I will mine one of those and then collect the floating carbon if I can find it. Hopefully before I run out of oxygen. Oh no! Run, forest, run. Right. Cool. Let's deposit this. Right, so how many do I have now? I need 6 more. But yeah, we're really just in the setup phase here because we're kind of tied to the pod until we can make our own fabricator. And in order to do that, we need habitat, we need power, we need batteries. We need a bunch of stuff. Okay. I'm just setting it up now. All while trying not to run out of oxygen. Is that enough? No, one more. Right, so I have collected all my stuff. That battery, I have food and water, and I probably should eat some food, drink some water. Right, back to 100%. Need 20 iron bars, 4 copper bars, 1 copper wire, 4 electronics, 1 fabric, 2 silver, 1 glass, 1 data transfer. That means that I can build my habitat, some power, battery, some storage, and a fabricator when I get to the other end. And now we will head back to Mokora Island. Did I get everything out of there? I did, didn't I? Yes. So we will head back to Mokora Island. The other signal that we got that I forgot to look at, so we'll have to go back and do that in a minute, is to this emergency pod that was just on the left there, which is where, in fact, we're going to build our first base. So Moxora Island, and there's another place, several other places, in fact, has a renewable food resource that eventually we will be able to farm, and that is these strange alien trees. Gargowl trees. Oops. Get a bit closer to actually hit them. Right, so that gave us a seed and some fruit. It doesn't give you much food value, but because it's renewable, it's easier to use those. Gather some more fungi. Get more food. Yeah, so it's easier to use those than it is to use space burgers. Although we will get a bunch of space burgers as well. Just from chests. Right, so that's given us a bunch of food and some seeds. Just check in a second. Yeah, so many seeds, lots of food, and now no room. Right, so what we needed to do was break these down. Pick up the raw resources. Another piece of gold, yes. Always good to have. And there was one in here which was just fabric. Oh, and there, I missed it the first time. I thought I was missing something. That is the actual battery charger. So now we have that unlocked as well. So what we're going to do is head over to the emergency pod and build our first base. So I'm going to put it about here. Going to put the habitat room down. And I'm going to put a corridor on it. And then I'm going to rotate the airlock and connect it. And now I have a solar panel and a small habitat battery. Just going to refresh my oxygen. So you can see it's all dark in here, no power. So what did we get? We got several new things. Habitat window, the battery charger, and over here, small habitat battery, which connects to a snap point on a corridor. Like that. And then something to charge our battery with, which would be solar panels. So now we have power right up until I build a fabricator, and then we probably don't have power. But let's see. So the fabricator uses 50 power. Just pop it against the far wall for now. Yep, I still have power. I'm going to build some storage. So the wall storages, when you put them on a wall like this, you can fit them too high. So I'm going to use the shift key so I can keep the recipe going. So now I have some storage. Solar panels, yes, cool. Right, and now I can drop this stuff. For the moment, I'm just going to ditch everything. Then I'm going to get the water back, get a stack of fruits, sort that, sort this, And now I'm ready to go. So what I need to do now is to build a power panel and a battery charger, which I need one electronics and a copper wire, which I think I can do just. And I can put my power panel up. Let's try it on this wall for the moment. Power panel. And that unlocks a bunch of other stuff. And now I can interact and say, right, so I've got 125 total power. I generate 2 power every 5 seconds, and I'm using 112 of that 125. So now I need another battery to get it up to 250, another solar panel, and a battery charger, which is a bunch of iron. So I need 9 iron bars, copper bar, and various other things. So what I'm going to do is go and investigate this pod first. So here I've got, what do I have here? Those are minerals. Going to collect all of those. Various floating packs of minerals. And then we shall see what is in the pod itself. So it's kind of hard to see in here at the moment. There is a bunch of electronics. So a copper, a light bulb, another light bulb. And I'm going to come back because I need to go and get some oxygen. And in fact, we might just build that light module that just unlocked. So I need an electronic part. Can I build one? Yes, I can. And I got a light bulb, so that's a win. And dump this stuff. Again, sort it out. Go back in here. Finish collecting. Now I have a light and I can see what I'm doing, which is awesome. There's a log. Found a cargo pod. So more electronics. This will shorten the process of building new stuff. It's always handy. So this will be some smelted bars, which is great because I need a bunch of those. And then we have something to scan, which is in fact the start of our vehicle. One of 3, no, one of 2, the skipper. Right, so we've cleared everything out of here. We shall go back to our pod, get some oxygen. Then I am going to go and get the rest of the materials from the starter pod. Because we're going to need everything that we've got. Got my room. So there it is there. So the jetpack clearly makes a huge difference to your ability to travel. The skipper is even faster. And eventually there is a self-contained vehicle that has an oxygen supply, which means you can explore freely the system, which is great. It just takes a bit of time to get to that point. So it looks like pretty much everything has respawned over here. Just from us going away. Okay. That's, again, need the resources to do stuff. Let's go and clean out the boxes. I think that was everything. Right, that terminal had the emergency pod, which we've just been to, and another one, the old hub station, which will be our next point of adventure. So you can see the old hub station over there. Got plenty of oxygen, so I'm just going to mine some stuff. Ice is the easiest thing to mine. Makes sense, really. You can, in fact, just mine it with the scrapper. Right, now I should go and get oxygen. See what I can build. So the reason I built here is this is where an easily accessible source of silver, which you need quite a lot of. So what do I have here? Bunch of stuff. Right. And this is where you have to start organizing. Put the minerals in the bottom one and all of the organic-y stuff in the top one. Dead batteries, med kit, organics. Sort. Group the fungi. What's in here? Stack of that. Drop the water. Sort. Done. All right. So we have built our first base. We've done a tiny bit of exploring, got a few logs to read, and in the next episode I will be going to the old hub station and basically repeating the base that I have built over there. So until next time, I hope you've enjoyed Astrometica. I thoroughly recommend it. It's a good fun survival game. And until next time, take care and see you later.